Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Center Sports Talk Live. Today is Wednesday, May 6th, on a rainy afternoon. We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to have Jon Entel join us momentarily, the one and only from DSN. He'll be joining us a little bit later in the show. We're going to talk about some DSN Center stuff and talk about some football and some basketball. John's a great guy. I've gotten to get to know him over the years and excited for him to be on the show. NFL schedule is coming out tomorrow, 8 p.m. That's going to be some big news right now. NFL is hoping and assuming that they will get their season up and running as normal in September. So we're hoping that they are going to be, coming and doing all the things that they need to do to get prepared for that. So we're going to see how that runs out. We said also that Andy Dalton signed with the Cowboys as a backup, and a lot of people are, a little bit upset at the fact that, why they signed him and as a backup. Does that mean the negotiations with Dak Prescott are not good, and are they going to take over his job? And I've been saying from the beginning that I think Jerry Jones is a smart man. Yes, he may be a tough owner, but I think he's a smart guy, and I think he knows what he's doing. And at the end of the day, it's important that he has a backup plan in case of injury. And I think Andy Dalton, who has, some experience in this league, has that. So, we'll talk about that. And I know John, who's a huge Cowboy fan, would love to get his take on how that sits with him as a Cowboy fan. And on this day in history, a long time ago, 1998, Kerry Wood, which I don't know if many people remember him, was a great pitcher out of Chicago Cubs. Struck out 20 in a game, which ties the record, which is, an amazing record, which I don't think many people nowadays will even get close to, especially when, they're being taken out in the fourth or fifth inning and they go into their bullpen. But, our day in history, May 6, 1998, Kerry Wood strikes out 20. Unbelievable. That's a feat that is not easy to break. So we're going to talk about Jon Entel. Jon Entel, I've gotten to get to know him in the past few years. Just a tremendous guy, big heart, and in the same position as I am, dealing with children in the community center, sister agencies, and we're going to talk some sports, and we're going to talk also about the center DSN travel basketball. We'll talk some Cowboys, some NFL. So let's see if we can get him on the line right now. See if he's available. Hey, John.
What's up, bud? Can you hear me?
I hear you good. Do you hear me?
Awesome. I got you, Harry. Awesome.
I've been having some internet connection issues. I'm hopefully getting that fixed within a day or two. So I'm hoping everybody can hear me well tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean it's a little bit blurry, but I hear you good though, so it's good.
Okay, yeah, you're coming in a little bit choppy, but it could be on my end. So let me see if I can fix that connection so that people can hear us a little bit normal. Now?
Absolutely, much more clear.
Okay, sorry about that. I just did something much better. Hopefully this works out.
Awesome.
So, not enough that I could say about you, man. I mean, I've gotten to get to know you for the past 2-3 years, and in the same position that, we're in the same position in different community centers. Um, what you've done for the kids, especially in DO and at DSN is tremendous, and how that, the program has grown. is great to see, because we share the kids. They're in Brooklyn. They come to Deal. They
Absolutely.
see you in the summer. So we
Absolutely.
have the same connection. What I would love to know, and I think people would love to know, is your love for sports? Where did it come from? Because I could see just in the background all the sports collections you got back there. Where did it all come from?
Yeah. So my love, I mean, listen, as oh, I got you back. You got me here? Oh, hold on.
Right. You
Okay.
hear me?
Okay. So I think I hear you. Yep, I hear you now. I lost you for a second, but I got you back. Um, I think at a younger age than probably my mom wanted me to, I saw Jerry Maguire for the first time, uh, and wanted to be a sports agent my entire life. It was like a dream, you know? So I think I got the love of sports from then. I grew up a Cowboys fan, unfortunately now, but it was great in the early '90s when we were on our run. So I loved it. I'm actually the oldest of 8 kids, so my love for kids, which many don't know about me, my love for kids has always been with me. I have a large family, so I'm blessed to definitely be able to have a lot of siblings. So it was really a match with DSN, having the kids around me and being able to be influential in a positive way, give back a little bit, oversee, take care as much as I can, and the community is amazing. The parents are amazing. The kids are amazing, and I know we live in a different day now, but going to the building and getting those high fives or those hugs and hearing Coach John, it means everything plus more. Can't explain it. So I know the kids, when I see them, they're talking about you. So I'm hoping when they see you, they're talking about me.
100%, 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely tough now, especially not being in the building and having the, DSN flooded with children, and the center flooded with children right now, is a little bit tough. And, everybody's asking, when hopefully things go back to normal, we'll be able to do those type of things again. But, what we're doing now, between DSN and the center, is bringing content out there, for them to see what we're doing, and that we're not skipping a beat. And yes, it may not be in person, and which is obviously, what we would love to have happen. But what we're doing with this sports talk show, and what we are doing with your game shows, and DSN is putting out tremendous content, is just giving them a break from what's really going on out there, and as if they never left our buildings. And that's what it's really all about, for them to, get that break and say, oh, it's just like being at DSN, it's just like being at the center right now. And we hope that we put that forward to them. That's what it's really all about.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. I was gonna say you hit the nail on the head. I mean, listen, you guys do a phenomenal. Listen, the show's amazing, right? Your show's amazing. You reach out, super interactive. You guys do a great job with your programs and things on the Instagram. Whatever it will be, it's so needed, And I think we talk with the other directors here in the DSN building, and I know that we all feel the same way. We talk about it frequently. We have to do more with SEC. We have to do more to stay connected to the community. We put out challenges to ourselves in the beginning when this first happened. I mean, March 10th, March 11th, was like the last time I saw my kids. And after that, a week later, I remember it was yesterday, being on a work call,
right.
with the other directors in the building. And so I was saying, okay, everybody needs us. And now is the time. Now it's easy to have our regular routine, but what can we do to step outside the box and really, really keep everybody connected? So, like you said, with your show, with what your other directors are doing in your building, with Dave Belhassan doing Kahoot at 9 p.m. I know you guys are doing stuff like that, the trivia stuff. Frida doing pajama jams and doing what she's doing via the Instagram. And, you know, Sharon doing the fitness. I know, like I said, I know you guys, it's like we mirror, you know.
Right.
And you have your show. I have the Ultimate Trivia Challenge. It's really, what can we do to keep our kids and our parents connected all the time with us, with the community, with their aunts, with their uncles, their brothers, their cousins, their grandparents.
Yeah.
And I think we just collectively, thank God, I think we all stepped up to the plate and did a great job. Definitely.
No, 100%. And listen, it's, like you said, it's not easy. You know, we're in a comfort zone of what we've been doing in a daily routine when you're in the building, and now going into, you know, I guess the Zoom world, you want to say, and doing everything in, you know, on the internet was definitely a challenge for everybody, even the teachers, and you know, God bless them, and even for the kids to have to, you know, to change and go into this direction. So, you know, to me, everybody's a hero in this, because we were able to adapt so quickly in a time of, you know, where we just, it came out of sort of nowhere, where we had to, you know, do it on the snap. So again, it's tremendous work that we're all doing, and you know, I appreciate, you know, like I said, you being on here, and I know it's a busy time for all of us, and you joining me on this is just amazing. So I do appreciate it. So we're going to talk about the Center DSN travel basketball. So the first time we had this, I think, if you could correct me, because my memory is being shot now. I would say I think we had it 2 or 3 to play at DSN, and it felt like I was coming into Madison Square Garden, where, you know, the introduction and the screen with all the kids' pictures on there, and it was the way DSN rolled out the red carpet for us was amazing, and I think we were a little bit you know, shocked in the beginning, and probably that may be the reason why we lost. but it's just amazing. What you guys did. So listen, you started your travel program, you know, obviously a little bit later than us, obviously. How's that been going for you? Because obviously it's a different world when now you're playing versus outside competition. How did the kids, you know, respond to that?
So it's a phenomenal question. I mean, when I was given the task of a travel team, I wasn't really sure how receptive people would be. The kids, the parents alike. And the next thing was, if I was going to do it, I needed to do my due diligence and really find the coach, you know. And it sounds crazy, but the interview process was strenuous. People may say it's a travel team for a center. You know, listen, bringing any outside entity into our community, you have to do rigorous work, period. You're protecting kids, you're protecting parents, you're protecting all of us at the same time, right? And we really covet that protection, that care, and that love. So it took me a while, and Coach Kevin, after 2 interviews, I felt was the guy for the job. I felt that he would take care of our kids, but he would show some outside grit, if you would. He'd make them tougher. And let me tell you, man, the first 6 months was, you know, it was tough. It was tough, man. But the parents hung in there and persevered. And I say persevere because it's tough. You're not used to seeing your kids be yelled at or told things, whatever. But listen, trust the process is a true thing, right? And we know this with your coaches, what you guys do. You've been doing it for a while, so it has to work. So for me, I knew I had one shot only. I chose Kevin, and we were sort of paired up. It was like a GM that hired a manager, you know. And I told him, I said, listen, this program doesn't work. If you don't work out, we're out of here, you know. So, but we listen. Everybody at DSN, like I said, the parents were amazing. Sammy, from the top down, reassured me. He encouraged me going along the way to just be me, do what I do best. Any other directors that I needed help from, reserving spots, whatever it may be, really made me feel welcome, made the program feel welcome. And we made it to the championship in our first year, able to bring the championship home. But let me tell you, man, facing outside community teams, like you said, was, whew, you know, the boys, the first time they step on the court and they don't see their friend, they're like, you know, it takes them 2 or 3 quarters to realize they're the same age, they're the same height. Well, same height until 7th grade, and you know, and it's you know, it's tough, it's different. But our first year we made it to the championship. We weren't able to get over the hump. Later on that year, our 6th grade team ended up winning a championship for us. And then we won 4 more thereafter the following year. So we've been to 7 championships. We've won 5. And now we have a lot of coaches. Coach Sean does the girls for us. Coach Kenny does our youngest. Coach Kevin is rocking and rolling from 3rd through 7th for us. And you know, we have Coach Miles who comes in and really helps and bounces around. I oversee everything, and they do a great job. But it was, I mean, listen, man, it was scary. It was scary. It was scary. I didn't know, but you gotta, you know, like you said, navigating those tough waters. If everyone pulls in the same direction, then, you know, you're gonna get to the area you want to get to. And when we faced you guys, I do believe you were a better team that first year. The first half, you didn't play that well. And I think, like you said, you didn't expect it. So we won by like 1 or 2 points. We barely got out of there. We barely escaped in our own gym. And you guys were amazing. But it was a chance for us to see how a travel team was run, you know. So it was nice to see you guys in the building. And rolling out the red carpet, it's not that we try and do it bigger or whatever the case may be. You said it in the beginning. Everybody who's coming in is a cousin or a nephew, you know, is related. We're going to do for our kids what we would do for you guys. It's the same kids. We get them in the summer. You get them in the fall. So for us, we almost were thinking to ourselves, we want you to know how much we appreciate it, you know? So I think we were nervous. We wanted to overproduce and hope it was what you expected, you know? So everything you had sent me, the first picture was 3 years ago, whatever it was. And it's great to see that both programs are flourishing as they are now.
But what was great about that day at the end, and it was a great game at the end, everybody shook hands and we went into your, I guess your lounge area, and they all got to sit together, both teams, and just mingle after the game, and like as if nothing ever happened, and they just played ball. It was like almost like they just free play atmosphere. Absolutely. And that's what it's really about. And yes, the competition's there, and you know, yes, somebody wants to win, someone's going to lose, but at the end of the day, like you said, we're cousins, we're nephews, we're all family, and it was just a great way for both our centers to, you know, come together at that stage and just play ball and just show and put on a show. And the show we did for those 2 years, I think we split the series. And unfortunately, this year, once everything, you know, host you by our gym and you know, do what you've done for us for the past 2. Which was, you know, amazing, and a memory that I know always stays with me, and I'm sure always stays with the kids who were able to play on those teams.
Absolutely. Listen, the pizza in the lounge, you and I made it a big deal after. Make sure they don't know that it was a competition. It was make sure once you leave the court, your friends are there. You see them in the summer, your cousins are there, your best, whatever it is. You make sure we get in the lounge, and that's exactly what DSN and SEC has always done. That's exactly what it should be. You know, you get on the court, you turn it on, right? You get off the court, it's a hug, period. Right. You go in the lounge, you have some pizza, and then next year, you know, when everyone's back and ready to go on their teams, then you make it a big deal again when we face off. But outside of that, you know, you guys, for us, you're our measuring stick. You know, we can face outside community teams where we see them once, maybe never again. Right. But for you guys, having that every year and seeing the growth and seeing them go and do the summer basketball and things like that, it's a big deal to us. You know, it's a big deal to see you guys and know, hey, you know, is our coaching up to par? You know, is our program up to par? Are our kids up to par? So that's what we really look forward to seeing you guys and making sure. And like you said, splitting the series is exactly what lets us know we're where we have to be. That's it. When you split the series against your cousins, against the SEC, against, you know, your favorite people, your friends, you come in there, you know, you leave and you're like, I'm happy. That's it. So it's great, man. And God willing, when this craziness goes away, man, sooner rather than later, because I'm about to go Corona crazy here, but you know, we can get back to what we love, and I can see you guys and maybe not wear a mask and give somebody a hug, God forbid.
Yeah,
I know. So hopefully we can get into some of the old days, I guess.
Yes,
we can say.
100%. So, you know, what's key also through this process and with travel basketball is, you know, being able to develop, you know, young athletes and to explain to them, yes, we want them from wherever they began. Let's say you begin in September, October, and you're finishing in April, May, let's just say, where they were in September, you want them to at least improve in a certain aspect of their game. It's not necessarily, yes, the ultimate goal is going to be about winning a championship, and yes, but even if you lose, and like you said, the first season, you were able to, you know, the kids were able to see where they started and where they ended up in the first season to, you know, not knowing what to even expect. You know, playing versus outside competition, people they did not know, and you know, they should, you know, always think that this is, okay, you know what, I wasn't so great with my right hand dribble, but now in September, but all of a sudden now come May, my right hand's unbelievable now. And that's what, you know, it's those individual accomplishments, which makes it, you know, great for us as coaches and as directors, to see that from children. And I'm sure, you know, you could say the same.
Absolutely. It's I'll tell you the biggest one for me. We had a player our first year. So our first team was third and fourth graders, predominantly fourth, 2 third graders. And one of the third graders, every single practice for the first 3 or 4 months had to have his parent with him. He felt very nervous, had a lot of anxiety, a grandparent, whatever, somebody he knew. And as the year went on, as the travel team year went on, all of a sudden we started to realize that his parents weren't there and the grandparents weren't there. And he was looking and saying, yes, coach. And he wasn't looking down. And he would take criticism and say, okay, you know, versus getting down. And then at the end, when he'd walk in, hey, coach, shake your hand and go right into the layup line. That's it. Coach Kevin, I looked and I said, that's it. You can wrap it up right there. Because if we were able to instill the confidence in somebody enough to let them know we love and care about you, we want you to progress and develop, that was more than enough for us to feel successful. The basketball stuff, for sure, man. Listen, parents pay for a travel team. They want to know, right, what's ultimately to win a championship or to have their kids' basketball skills developed. But the last day when we all had like a team party, hey, thanks so much, the inaugural season, we love you guys. The parents all said the same thing. The development they saw at home far exceeded anything they expected on the court. So I think that just goes back to why you and I do what we do, you know, just being able to really hit home and be there with the kids is like, that's it. Yep. It's the creme de la creme, man. There's nothing else better. And yeah, the travel team, I'm not going to lie. I want championships. I want to fill the trophy case. And I tell the teams now, you step on the court, you're a DSN Knight. The expectation is win. But we will do it the right way. We'll learn. We'll play together. We'll play as a family. We'll love each other. If you do bad in school, your butt sitting on a chair on the bench, period. And at any moment in time, there's anybody who want to play on the team, no problem. You can fold the jersey up. It has the letters DSN on it, and that's exactly, it stands for the community. You could fold it up nice. You could give it to me. You could sit with your parents, and the rest of your teammates will pick you up.
Right.
So it means a lot. You know, it means a lot. I'm sure for you guys too. When you have on, you know, the SEC stuff, whatever, the Hawks, whatever your teams are, you know where you're coming from. You know what it means. The name's on the back of the jersey. It means more to us than people probably know, you know?
Right.
So it's definitely a big deal.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh as you were saying. I was reading some of the comments that were coming in. So one of them